Would you love me if I was a fly?
Welcome to Nerdindex. Today we're reviewing ReZero Starting Life in Another World Season 3. I'm just going to say that I find Subaru to be generally unlikable, but I feel like he's set up to be a little bit of an unlikable character because if we did care about him a lot as an audience, it would be way harder to watch him die over and over again or be tortured. So I think that aspect of his personality serves a purpose. ReZero is the kind of anime where you feel traumatized while watching it, but you walk away from it saying, that was a good show, and Season 3 still delivers on that feeling for the first third, but then the tension dissipates after that.
I really liked the initial setup with Wrath being a villain. That seemed actually hard to deal with, and her power being able to command and kill so many people made her very intimidating as a villain. But as the show went on, she fell into the background, not really being much of a threat anymore.
This entire season was only one story arc trapped in the Water City, which I thought was interesting, but to offset that, they brought 4 Sin Archbishops into the mix, which should have been a huge problem. Wrath felt impactful and scary, and like she would be difficult to deal with. Maybe because she was the only one that actually killed Subaru this season, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was a bit of a disappointing moment for me, but not killing him is kind of the right answer for the most dangerous thing that the archbishops could do to him. But after Greed left him without chunks of his legs, it made less of an impact with the future archbishop.
It's actually one leg, by the way.
No, it was out of both.
No, it was one. It was literally only ever the one.
Are you sure?
I am 100% confident. Only the one was ever bandaged. Only the one had the torn pants. The other one was perfectly fine.
Remember what episode was that? Is that 2?
One leg!
Fair.
Singular leg!
Okay. But after Greed left him without chunks of his leg, it made less of an impact with the future archbishops not killing him.
Greed, Lust, and Gluttony didn't have that same scary factor to me.
Greed felt kind of silly. Lust was creepy with transforming people, and Gluttony was just the white whale again without being large and flying.
I think the first interaction with Lust in the government building was supposed to be chilling, but it just made me sit there thinking sarcastically, would you still love me if I was a fly?
That depends. Do you still talk to me, or do you have the lifespan of a fly?
That's what I was wondering. Well, okay, I probably can't talk because they didn't talk, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, so did they retain their human lifespan, or are they gonna die in like a couple days because they're flies now?
No, they're big flies. Maybe that makes big lifespan.
What if that makes it shorter?
I don't know.
I think Amelia freezes them at the end, so we're never gonna find out realistically.
Maybe next season.
There were a couple times where I thought to myself that we were going to reset and die again, but we didn't, like when he lost his leg or when the dragon blood came into play, so it's interesting that we're walking away from this arc with a lot more permanent injuries and a lot fewer traumatizing resets. Mimi is literally the best and super cute, and I sat there and said, if they hurt her, I'm going to be upset. And then literally the next episode, she got super injured. But ReZero is just like that. It likes to toy with you.
Like how Rem was everyone's favorite in season 1. Now we're 2 seasons without getting to see her much.
I wasn't expecting there to be so many musical numbers this season either. It's like we were developing the power of song instead of the power of friendship.
The bard was interesting, but not quite Yaskier.
And there was so much monologuing. Has it always been like this? And I just don't remember because of the gap between seasons.
This show usually has been more of a planning and talking show about how to do things. After he learned in the first season that running headfirst into situations ended up with lots of pain, suffering, and death. And kind of the biggest scene in season 1 was Rem's monologue that took half of an episode.
That's right. But there were so many times where I felt like we were just talking in circles as a group and that it could have been cut down without losing the impact of the moment.
Cough, cough. First hour and a half long episode.
Not the whole thing of it, but like the middle portion of it. The fighting was really interesting though, and even though it was split across 4 different zones, it was still generally well balanced because we spent a decent amount of time in each place before going to another group. But the ending moments with Julius were properly sad, and I'm interested to see how the preview trailer and poster information that we got will tie into how this season ended and where we're going from here.
I do feel like I'm gonna have to rewatch the show before the next season because it feels like we might be pulling some of the initial information back soon with the Rem situation.
But overall, this was a 7.5 out of 10.